What is up, bros? I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we're a couple of bros on a mission to give you guys the most detailed movie reviews out there with as little bias as possible. Welcome to the All Bros. This week on the podcast, it is all me when it comes to weekly watches because Caleb's been playing video games and watching a bunch of shows.
Yep. A lot of the shows I've been watching have been coming out. So Umbrella Academy just came out. So I rewatched all of Umbrella Academy. So I'm on the final season finally. So I'll be finishing that up probably this week. And then Solar Opposites on Hulu, or the new season of that just came out, so I'm going to be watching that. And then I'll probably get back into my movies.
Hell yeah. Well, for me with that, with weekly watches, and we'll get into that in a minute, I took a trip down memory lane, and it was a great trip. So we'll get into that, and then after that, we'll get into our headliner of the evening, which will be our breakdown of Twisters. Not Twister, Twisters.
Hell yeah.
If they do a third one, do you think they'll go Twisters?
Probably.
Good Lord.
Twisterers.
Twisterers.
I think at that point you just have to go Twisters 2 or Twisters 3, whatever the hell you want to name it.
Yeah. But anyway, what do you say we get into this week's episode?
Say, let's do it.
Hello, my name is Brucker Nurse, and I want to tell you about my fun horror movie podcast called Autopsy of a Horror Movie. On my show, I like to have fun dissecting out what makes a horror movie scary, what worked for it, what didn't, what types of fears does it play off of. Is it an allegory for any sort of message? I don't know, but let's find out. Also, I like to watch slashers. I'm a big slasher guy, so I'll watch a slasher and do a kill grade for it. I will cover the kills and I will tell you how I would grade it based on shock, method, style points, and a fourth category that is a reflection of the movie. Besides those, I'll have fun with special topic episodes, commentary tracks, interviews with guests, including some Shudder directors, so I just like to have a fun time over here. If any of this sounds interesting to you or you just want to come check me out, please head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere they listen to podcasts and search for Autopsy of a Horror Movie. Also be sure to find me on Instagram at Brucker Horror, where you get fun updates and some cool little posts that I do. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you get to enjoy the show, and I'll see you on Instagram. Bye.
All right, getting right into weekly watches. Like I said, it was just me that watched stuff this week, or at least movie wise. Like we said, Caleb watched other stuff with TV shows and stuff, but we only talk about movies on this podcast. We only point out movies that we've watched.
Yeah, otherwise we'd be here all freaking day.
Yeah, exactly. But so, like I said, I decided to take a trip down memory lane, and what a wonderful trip it was. So I decided to watch almost all the Jackass movies. I was not able to watch Jackass Forever and Jackass 4.5. I'm going to watch those two later this week. But it was so freaking awesome watching these movies again. I haven't watched a lot of these in a couple years. At least the first two, it's been a while. And just, I remember why I love these movies. I laugh my ass off every time. It doesn't matter how many times I see these stunts. I laugh my ass off every single time. These guys mean a lot to me. I'm dead serious. Growing up, these 9 guys were I could always turn to get a laugh. And not saying that they were role models for me, because I didn't do any. Shockingly, for how much I watched Jackass as a kid, I did not attempt to do any of this shit. So
I would sure as hell hope not.
Hey, don't worry. I listened to Johnny Knoxville. I listened to the warning at the beginning of each of these films. Don't worry.
That's not a statement that fills me with the most confidence. Well, I listened to Johnny Knoxville.
uh, but anyway, getting into this. So yeah, Jackass the movie. Uh, the movie that was supposed to be the conclusion to the Jackass franchise, because they had the show. MTV decided to pull it because they were getting so many complaints from parents about kids trying to replicate the stunts and getting hurt, even though the warning is right there. Don't try this shit at home or you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get injured.
Kids don't listen.
Yeah, I know they don't. But
telling them don't try this at home just makes them want to try this at home.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's just the defiancy in us. It's just like, oh, you're telling me not to do something? Well, guess what? I only want to do now.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, so Jackass the movie, a classic. So this was actually my first introduction to the Jackass crew. I didn't watch the show until I think after I saw number 2 when I was a kid. And so like most of, because I know in like the show there's like some other people throughout, but like I said, these 9 guys are the center of Jackass. And so yeah, just watching them freaking beat the shit not beat the shit out of each other, but I guess prank the shit out of each other is freaking great. I feel with the Jackass movies, there's not a lot that you can say. It's very hard to review a Jackass movie because it's all it is just stunts. Like you're just seeing these guys either be pranked or be the pranky. I think I said that right?
Sure.
Okay. Sure.
I don't know what the person being pranked
is it the pranker
called.
or the pranky? Is that
the pranker? I feel is the person that's executing the prank.
And then is the pranky the one that's getting the prank?
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know English, as you can
I'd
see.
say that I wouldn't even go with that. I'd be like more like the victim. It's the pranker or the prankster and the victim.
All right, there you go. I like that. Oh man. But yeah, freaking this was my like I said, this was my introduction to everything. My introduction to the classic. Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass. Like just freaking classic. So I would love to see this movie on the big screen at least once. So I'm gonna give Jackass the movie a $5 Tuesday because love it every single time I watch it. I'm gonna say this right now. I love all the movies. Like I don't have no Jackass movie is bad, even the 0.5s. And so next up, I watched Jackass number 2. Which I think is even better than the first one. And like that's weird to say because it's still it's like same shit, different day, or same shit, different movie. But I feel as the movies went on, they upped the ante, they upped the stunts, which I really appreciated. I'll always remember this one for the trailer because the freaking announcer is saying like when the first one was released in 2002, people were outraged saying that it was a grotesque spectacle, a example of our degrading culture, just bashing the movie. And then it cuts to a scene of Johnny Knoxville tying a blindfold around his eyes, getting hit by a bull, and then the guy says, unfortunately for them, we just made number 2.
Man,
it's so good.
Nothing's better than a freaking movie that's going against people complaining.
Yeah, right. But same thing as I said as with the first movie. I love these guys to death. Watching them go through hell is fun. Like I'm not gonna lie, I feel bad sometimes for the shit that they go through. Like how their bodies are just like I mean, I know that had some stitches. Um, they've had a lot of injuries, and sometimes it showcases in this movie. They'll actually do behind the scenes of them getting stitched up. Like I remember there's freaking, I think it's in it's either in Jackass 3 or Jackass 3.5, which I'll get to in a minute. You actually freaking see Johnny Knoxville getting his ass sewed up, or stitched up because he freaking had a dog jump up and bite his ass.
Oh my gosh, dude. These people's bodies should be like on display in a museum. Like there should just be a Jackass museum, and the bones of every person that was on this show in the movies, like their bones should be displayed to be like, do absolutely not try this at home unless you want your bones to look like this.
No, like seriously. I freaking remember when they did Jackass the game, and they were like freaking stoked because when they were playing it, they're just like, yeah, we can finally like put our bodies through shit that would actually kill us.
What was the purpose of that game?
I just, like I mean, I don't know.
Like what did you do?
So the story was Jeff Tremaine, who's the director of all these movies, he gets injured. Johnny Knoxville says he sprained his vagina.
Okay.
And so you're the chosen director for the next season of Jackass. And so throughout, you're just playing a bunch of mini games or doing the stunts. And then at the end, well, okay, so yeah, you're doing all the stunts. And then in between, you're getting cutscenes with the guys giving each other shit. And then the end is the red carpet for the new season of Jackass. And what I think it's Knoxville and Dave England, they're there with Steve-O, and they spin him around and push him down the red carpet, and then he ends up throwing up on everybody. That's how the game ends. So yeah, that's Jackass the game.
That sounds so dumb.
It's dumb, but God, did I have a blast playing it as a kid.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jackass number 2. Not like I said, it's really hard to review a Jackass movie because you know what you're gonna get, you love what you get, and that's really all there is to it. You come to these movies to laugh your ass off, and that's exactly what happens. So once again, $5 Tuesday, because I would love to see this one on the big screen. I didn't get to see my first Jackass movie on the big screen until Jackass 3, which I'll get to in a minute. So I would love to be able to see the original 2 on the big screen. That would just be an amazing moment for me. So leading in from number 2 into Jackass 2.5, because unlike with the first movie, they filmed so much shit with Jackass number 2. They literally made 2 movies. And what I've always loved about the 0.5s is they include a lot more commentary, like a lot more like them sitting down and explaining what goes on behind the scenes, how like tensions get hot, or they just need to release some anger. Who is like the more vulnerable out of the cast, who gets the most picked on, shit like that. It's honestly really cool.
So these are more character driven stories.
maybe not character driven. I feel they're more like the documentaries of the Jackass movies. Because like you're not getting as many stunts as you are in the original movie. Like you're still getting stunts, but you're, like I say, you're getting a lot more commentary. You're getting a lot more like, hey, let's sit down with Bam Margera and Ryan Dunn and just have them talk about like how this certain stunt went, or what they think about this cast member, shit like that.
Okay.
So, while not they're still as fun as the original movie. But I feel that it's something that you can just watch online at home. So Jackass 2.5, stream it. Still a fun time. But I don't think that you need to see it in theaters, but still a great time. Then I watched Jackass 3 or Jackass 3D. This was, like I said, this was my first time seeing any Jackass movie in the theaters. An amazing experience because I freaking remember. Have you seen any of the Jackass movies? I don't know if I've asked you this.
Yes. I feel like we've watched a couple together.
I think you're right.
We need to watch this one though on big screen.
Yes. I keep forgetting to ask you if you're up for that. So you are up for that?
I'm totally down for that.
Hell yeah.
I may need to upgrade.
You all I was gonna say also, how are you with poo?
Better than I am with vomit.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because there is a stunt called the Supreme Poo Cocktail, and I remember I'm assuming it's probably going to be the same, but I remember seeing that in 3D, and yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, my headset, I feel like I've attempted to use it for big screen just to like keep it up to date and make sure that it still works. I think I am past the point of it still working.
Oh shit, I'm sorry, man.
So I think I may need to upgrade soon.
Okay.
But I am looking into like options and alternatives because I want to, if I'm going to upgrade, I'm going to upgrade to the newest, and I want to jump to the Quest 3.
Okay.
So I'm looking into that. But once I get that up and running, or if I can get my figure out alternatives for this headset, like yeah, I'm totally down for Jackass 3D.
Hell yeah, sweet. Yeah, so like I said, first time seeing a Jackass movie in the theater, and I remember because the opening of this one is my favorite opening of any Jackass movie. And when they first open the two white doors and you see the guys walk through, I remember just smiling so much, being like, these 9 guys were my freaking childhood, or part of my childhood. They weren't my whole childhood. And now I finally get to see these guys on the big screen, and it was an amazing ride. And yeah, just so this one especially is very special to me. I love Jackass 3. Freaking I love that as they're walking out, the first thing that Johnny Knoxville has to do is freaking hit Wee Man in the nuts, and then he has to freaking take a bow. Freaking love it. And this, I mean, 3.5 is technically the last time, but this was also unfortunately the last Jackass movie that Ryan Dunn was in. Rest in peace. And so I feel that's why this one is also very special to me. Because honestly, Ryan was actually probably my favorite. I loved Ryan Dunn. So like I said, may he rest in peace. He is sorely missed. But $5 Tuesday, 100%. Especially if you can see this in 3D. Like, the 3D is actually really freaking good in this movie. It's disgusting, don't get me wrong, but like you get your money's worth. Like, it was actually filmed in 3D and it's freaking awesome. It's freaking great. And then last but not least, Jackass 3.5. Same thing as with Jackass number 2. They filmed way too much for Jackass 3, and so they were able to make another movie with Jackass 3.5. Kind of the same thing as 2.5. A lot of commentary, a lot of sitting down with the guys, but you're still getting a lot of stunts, and more stunts actually than what you got in 2.5. This one is actually, I think, an hour and a half compared to 2.5, which is just an hour. Yeah, like freaking my favorite stunt is I think it's the first one. It's the Steve-O, and it's the alligator snapping turtle, because he's just like, everyone's always asked me, is there one thing that you would never do to your body? Just one thing. He's just like, and this is it. It's the alligator snapping turtle, probably the worst thing that I've ever done to my body. And he's just screaming, fuck, 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 as the guy's getting ready to freaking put it up, to have it pinch his ass.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I don't know if I could be friends with those guys.
The best part is
maybe now that they've all gotten old and have chilled out a little bit, but back then, absolutely the hell not.
oh, freaking! I remember like after they get it off of him, he's just like, "There's a reason I turned that down for so many years." Oh, it's freaking great. But yeah, just as good as 2.5, just as good as all the others. Like I said, this was Ryan Dunn's last appearance. Once again, may he rest in peace. He's sorely missed. But stream it. I love all these movies so much. I cannot wait to watch Jackass Forever and Jackass 4.5 once again. And honestly, I think I'm going to watch the Bad Grandpa movies too. Might as well add that. So yeah, that's all I got for Weekly Watch.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, it was a great trip down memory lane. I loved every minute of it. But moving past that, what do you say we get into our headliner of the evening?
I say, let's do it.
All right. All right. So with our with our headliner for this episode, we will be breaking down the no, I'm not going to say unofficial sequel.
I mean, it's technically official.
Yeah, that's true. What did I say it was?
It's an unrelated sequel.
Standalone
a
sequel.
Standalone sequel. Yeah.
That's what it is. The standalone sequel, Twisters. So Caleb, do you want to let people know how we break down movies on this podcast?
I would love to. If you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we will be scoring are story, writing, acting, character development. This one might be a bit of a stretch.
I mean, I feel the Katie, is that spoiling?
A little bit, but you think character development's worth doing? Because
I think so. I think she gets it. I think I'm not going to say who, but such person does get a decent amount.
All right, and then we got effects, music, costumes, and then we give our own personal score at the very end. All of those numbers get magically added up and spit through our algorithm and give us a letter grade to compare this movie to others of a similar grade. So with that, if you have not seen Twisters, do yourself a favor and go check it out. This is one that's maybe a little on the difficult side to spoil.
Yeah, that's fair.
But there will be spoilers ahead. So we will be posting that spoiler warning now. And if you listen beyond this point in our favorite segment that we like to call Reading with Rose, sorry, sucks to suck.
Yeah.
You've been warned.
I do want to point out really quickly, for those that are wondering if you need to see the first or the original Twister to understand this one, you don't. No characters from that movie are what's the word? Are, oh my god.
Mentioned.
Thank you. That is the word.
That actually technically there aren't even any like original actors, right?
Nope. No original characters, no original story plots.
There is actually one.
Really? What?
I don't think this is a spoiler or anything. If are you familiar with Paul Scheer?
No. Who's that?
Okay, Paul Scheer is a comedian. He's been in like a bunch of different shows. He was the airport guard, the one that was trying to kick Glenn Powell out of his seat or out of his parking space and being like, "Yo, get out of here, get out," like that dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was technically in the original.
But was he the same character?
He could have been.
That's the only way that it's a connection if he's the same character.
The reason that I bring this up and that it is funny, Paul Scheer's mother was an extra in the original Twisters, and she was pregnant with Paul Scheer during that, like, the filming.
Oh.
So so technically he could have played the same character.
Son of a bitch. Shit, you got me there.
Yeah, dude, I saw
Be
that.
damned.
I saw that clip like a few weeks ago, like shortly like before the movie came out, because Paul Scheer was talking about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was in Twisters," and everyone was just like, "What?" like thinking, like trying to do the math, or just like, "How old were you?" And he's just like, "Oh, I was," or my mom like told like the story. His mom was an extra, and she was pregnant with him while she filmed her scenes.
It's like I was a whole 4 months.
Yeah, so there's this random like pregnant chick in the background of the original, and that is Paul Scheer's mother.
Oh,
And he was they I don't know if they did it on purpose, but he came in to do
that's
scene.
cool. Okay, I like
Right?
that. That's awesome.
I mean, technically he was an extra.
I mean, he had a really funny scene though.
He did. But yeah, that is the, as far as I'm aware, that is the only OG character.
All right, let's get to the plot of Twisters. All right. Kate Carter works in Oklahoma with storm chasers Javi, Addie, Praveen, and her boyfriend Jeb, alongside a Dorothy 5 Doppler. It's Dorothy 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. The team launches barrels of sodium polycrylate beads into a tornado in hopes of reducing its intensity and securing funding for further research. However, the attempt is unsuccessful, and the crew is caught in the middle as it intensifies into an EP. Oh my God, EF5. Javi watches from a distance as Addie, Praveen, and Jeb are blown away and killed as a traumatized Kate survives. 5 years later, Kate works at a NOAA office in New York City. Javi working for mobile tornado. Oh my
Tornado.
the hell is wrong with me? Working
Reading
for
with Rose, everybody. Reading with Rose with 2 E's.
Fuck off. Working for mobile tornado radar company Stormpar offers Kate a 1-week position with his team to test a new tornado scanning system using phased array radar. Kate initially declines, but later has a change of heart after Javi sends a news report about a tornado destroying a town without warning and assuring her that they have a chance to save lives. Kate and Javi join the Stormpar team in Oklahoma, which includes Javi's business partner, Scott. Popular YouTube storm chaser Tyler Owens, known as the Tornado Wrangler, also arrives in Oklahoma from Arkansas looking to capitalize on a predicted tornado outbreak. Tyler is joined by his crew of Boone, Danny, Dexter, and Lily, as well as British journalist Ben. Stormpar and Tyler's crew chase an EF1 tornado that has touched down in a nearby wind farm. Kate suffers a panic attack, causing her to drive away, rendering her unable to help Javi set up the final scanner. The team tracks another storm, which produces another EF1 that also produces a satellite that splits off. Stormpar chases the satellite after noticing that it is intensifying, but as it reaches EF3 strength, it takes out the third scanner. Kate and Javi barely escape and drive to the nearby tornado-ravaged town of Crystal Springs to help recovery efforts along with Tyler's crew. Having dismissed Tyler and his team as glory hounds, Kate is surprised to learn they use merchandise profits to aid tornado victims, while Storm Power investor Marshall Riggs profiteers by purchasing tornado-damaged land. Tyler invites Kate to a nearby rodeo in Stillwater where they begin bonding. When a large EF4 tornado hits, Kate leads Tyler and nearby residents to shelter in an empty motel pool, but the motel owner and 2 guests are killed. In the aftermath, Kate confronts Javi and Riggs' intentions and claims Javi is ignorant to the victims, causing an offended Javi to thoughtlessly blame her for their friend's death. Distraught, Kate abandons Javi and retreats to her mother's farm in Sapulpa. Tyler follows and uncovers Kate's previous research regarding the tornado disruption experiment. Kate initially declines Tyler's offer to help retry the experiment, but later accepts. The next day, they release the beads into a passing EF1 tornado, but it fails to dissipate. Using scanning data provided by Javi, who apologizes for what he said earlier as Kate hypothesizes, a change in the experiment to correct a previous oversight, namely adding silver iodide. The team tracks another tornado developing near El Reno. Javi and Scott are nearly killed, but they escape just as the tornado catches fire after hitting an oil refinery. The tornado explodes in size, becoming a mile-wide EF5 that begins shifting towards El Reno. Javi attempts to rush into town to help Kate and the Wranglers' recovery efforts, but Scott pressures him to continue their mission for Riggs. Javi abandons Scott by the road and quits his partnership with Riggs, finally seeing how careless Riggs and his team are. With all shelters full, Kate, Tyler, and their team evacuate the townsfolk into a nearby movie theater. A derailed streetcar and debris traps Tyler, and Kate struggles to free him. Javi arrives just in time to help Tyler before a water tower nearly collapses on them. With no basement to take shelter and the tornado heading straight for the theater, Kate drives Tyler's truck into the tornado's center. She fires the silver iodide into the tornado, and after a brief struggle with the controls, she successfully launches the polyacrylate beads, but the vehicle is overturned. The tornado rips the theater open, killing 2 people, then nearly pulling Lily and Tyler out just as the measures take effect and the tornado dissipates. The team rescues Kate and celebrates the experiment's success. Sometime later, as Kate waits at the airport for her flight back to New York City to gain funding for further research, Tyler shows up. Tyler chases Kate to stop her from leaving, and they reconcile. Upon learning that flights have been delayed because of strong winds, the two swiftly depart for the storm. A closing montage shows that Ben's story focused on Kate, and that Kate, Tyler, and Javi have joined in a new tornado radar business.
That part was a little unclear.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even know that Javi was a part of it.
I saw that. I didn't realize Glenn Powell's character was part of it.
I don't remember seeing Anthony Ramos at all at the end. Like the last time you see him is when he says goodbye to Kate at the airport, but I don't remember like they said at like the end credit scene or like the mid credit scene, like him there with Kate and Tyler.
Right.
I could be wrong though. I don't know. You've seen this more recently than I have.
Yeah, I don't recall. I think it might have been one of those like really quick newspaper clippings at the end.
Okay.
Like I think that might have been what they were alluding to. But yeah. Anyway, getting right into this freaking movie, which I was giving this movie kind of a hard time in terms of like waiting for it to come out on streaming and just like, I don't know if I'm going to go see this in theater. Like I was kind of had that attitude about it. And honestly, I feel like I missed out.
It was honestly really cool seeing this in the theaters.
Dude, there's just like, I need to make like a list of movie rules for myself. Like that there are some movies that I need to see in like certain formats. And disaster movies and anything like Avengers related, or I'll say anything MCU related, I need to see in theaters. Anything Doctor Strange or like mythical in any sense. So like Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, like any of those like types of movies, those need to be seen in 3D. And then, yeah, there's like a list of rules. Like we need to make that like that list up. Like there needs to be like an all bros movie ethics list that we come up with or something.
I like this idea. I'm in.
I mean, with how much we bitch about people at the theaters, like we need like an all bros etiquette, like movie etiquette. And then like
All right,
more like a movie. Huh?
All bros theater etiquette. You just need to know one rule. Shut the fuck up.
Yes.
That's all you need to know.
That is rule numero uno. Oh my gosh, dude. No freaking joke.
Just shut up and watch the movie.
Yep.
You paid to see that, so why the hell are you talking?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'll get mad at my wife if we rent a movie and she tries to talk through it. Other than like what me and you do is the occasional lean over and like make a little like side comment.
Yeah.
Like those are 100% okay all the time.
Yes.
Until it becomes a conversation. Once it goes conversation, shut up. Like it can wait.
Yes, it can.
Oh man, dude, that needs to be. We legit need to like make up an etiquettes list. Like that would be a fun series of TikToks for us.
That would be. Oh shit.
But yeah, anyway. Getting into the story of this, very plain, very like basic in terms of like disaster movies.
Yeah.
They did have some fun elements to it, like the whole, like it felt like there was purpose behind their storm chasing.
Yes, yeah, no, definitely. Like I'm not saying I would ever chase tornadoes, but this movie did make it very interesting, and all that they have to go through, all the research, honestly, very, very interesting. Like, I think that they did something I feel is very hard, and they made meteorology interesting in this movie.
Yes.
Like,
absolutely, yes.
Like,
dude, there was a couple moments where I was just like, dude, what the are you talking about? Like, speak English.
No, like seriously, like yeah, there were moments that I'm just like, okay, I don't fully understand what you're saying, but you've made this super interesting, so I'm still on board. I'm not fully understanding, so like say if I was actually there with you,
yeah, like, don't
I'd be lost.
Me.
Yeah, I'd be a little lost. Probably, honestly, lost as all hell. But I'd be sure as hell happy to be along for the ride.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. That's one where I like when Glenn Powell's character and the main character were kind of like geeking out over tornadoes and stuff.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh, look at these nerds nerding.
Dude, freaking like, especially when Boone is filming for Tyler's YouTube channel, and they are focusing on the two tornadoes, and him just shouting, "We got twins! Twins!" Is how he loses his mind.
Oh man. That shit was so funny, dude. It's a well put together story. Like, it's interesting. Like, instead of like just going in there to collect the data or whatever, like most other movies I've seen that kind of do the same shtick.
Yeah.
Like, it's always like, oh, we need to for science. For what?
No, yeah, like it was really cool that like they had a really good purpose as to why they needed to collect this data. And I really liked that there were like two different sides here. You had Tyler's side and you had a Javi's side, or I guess I'm not going to say Kate's side because I feel like I'm going to put her in the middle of this.
She is kind of in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
she was all for like the data, but then she was about like helping the people.
Yeah.
And it's
So
like helping outweighed her need for the data.
which I love because, you know, throughout the movie, like up until I feel the halfway point, you're just like, okay, yeah, I'm with Stormpar. Like freaking Tyler and his gang, like treating this like it's a freaking party, just chasing these things. And like freaking like the one or two times that they almost freaking took Stormpar off the road
Yeah, no
with them.
joke.
I
I'm
was
like,
just
you
like,
freaking
damn,
dickhead.
guys. Yeah, seriously. But then they freaking flip it on you and they're just like, no, actually, Tyler and his gang, the Tornado Wranglers, are actually the good guys here. What they sell with merchandise, they actually use that money to help people that are affected by these tornadoes.
I will say, still kind of weird that they set up a booth.
Yeah, and the fact that when Kate first gets into his car and she opens his glove box and he has
A bunch of signed headshots.
yeah, just already signed photos.
Dude, I'm like, dude, like the whole
How
movie,
much do
I
you
was
love
just,
yourself?
I know, it's just like, dude, what a douche. Like
No,
like
seriously.
like a super like unaware, just douchebag.
Like straight up.
But like you get it because it's also like he's supposed to play a YouTuber, and I'm like, yeah, like I feel like that's what YouTubers end up looking like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, you
freaking
kind of have to have that level of arrogance about you to be able to like film out in public. Like
yeah.
that, I feel like that's like 99% of the reason we stop doing that, because
No,
we
dude,
don't have that level of arrogance.
yeah, like seriously, because like if you want to get like something like like HD, truly great quality, you can't really use like a phone that you can hide. You have to like actually use like a freaking Nikon camera, freaking have a tripod with you, just holding that up, documenting whatever the hell you're doing, freaking pulling so much attention to you. And freaking in this movie, like it was the same thing. Boone freaking had I don't know if it was a phone that was in the
No, it was a
contraption that he had.
camera.
It
It was a
was a
camera.
camera? Okay.
Yeah, it was just it was more like kind of a tablet camera hybrid, but
Okay.
yeah, it was like
But like
I
this
think
thing's
it
like
was more
freaking
like
huge as hell.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like it's like whenever you're just like freaking like showcasing Tyler or showcasing the rest of the gang, yeah, you're gonna freaking call attention to yourself. Excuse me. And especially for freaking how loud they are. They're just like, how you feeling today, Tyler? Oh, I'm feeling great today, Boone. And if you feel it, chase it. Just shit like that. I'm just like, I
Dude,
could never.
it was cringy, dude. It was
It
super
was, but
freaking
like at the same
cringy.
time, I loved it.
Yeah, dude, that may seem like it's hypocritical coming from two people that do a podcast that quite literally have a cheesy intro. But
Wait, we do?
it's walking a line. Like I couldn't like I'm picturing like if we were to try and do this out in public, like yeah, it's a
Oh
little
my God.
it's a little cheesy. It's
All right, man. We're doing a live episode next time I'm out there on the streets of
oh
Savannah.
my hell, absolutely
Downtown
not.
Savannah. Here we come.
Dude, the only instance that I would feel comfortable doing that is maybe at like a convention.
Yeah, that's fair. Dude, freaking, we should have live streamed a Gacy Gazette episode at the serial killer convention.
Ideas for next time.
Yeah, dude, that would be super cool. I would hope that Ryan would be okay with that. I'm sure he would be. And yeah, that would be freaking awesome.
That'd be the shit. Dude, you should move out here and ask, get connected with Ryan and start a grave face podcast.
Oh, dude, I would love that so much. That'd be so
how
cool.
sick would that be? Then it's just you could live stream the freaking conventions.
Yeah.
And get money for the people that can't really attend, or the people if he did want because I'm sure he has a following in Chicago and whatnot, but for people in Chicago that know about what he's doing and all of that, other people around the country, you could live stream that, dude.
Ideas.
It's not like we don't have the equipment to do so.
That's true. Shit, man. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
That would, dude. I bet he'd be down.
I think so too. Because that'd be great publicity for him and his museum.
Yeah, and then you just get to geek out about whatever the hell you want based off of his collection.
Yeah. Dude, I have a feeling that if he does do another serial killer convention, because I don't see him doing another one on Gacy, or at least not for a little while, because
I'd say not until he unearths a few things.
Yeah. I feel if he does another one anytime soon, for how much he has of this said serial killer, I could see him doing one on Geen.
Yeah.
I would totally be up for that. That'd be a really cool one to do a case study on Ed Gein.
Dude, we need to, I kind of want to put something together and pitch it to him. At least get something for you to pitch to him. But that'd be the shit, dude.
That would be the absolute shit.
Ideas. I think Gacy Gazette would have to be be put on the side burner, but I mean,
yeah, I'm okay with that.
That would be freaking dope, dude.
Freaking, I'm just restarting the Gacy Gazette. So, guys, we're taking another break, and so
ideas.
Very, like I said, very, very good ideas.
Hell yeah, dude! If it gets you out here, I'll freaking create all the artwork you want out of that for a freaking pitch. That would be so cool.
That would be amazing. That would be super freaking cool.
Yeah. Anyway, where do we?
I don't know how.
Oh, just because of how cringy it'd be to do this live.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. In public, I could not do that to anyone in public.
Yeah, fair.
At least not the intro part. Anything official related, in terms of the show, I don't think I could do the outro, and I couldn't do the intro. Everything in between, I could probably do.
All right, fair enough.
Because at that point, it's just us shooting the shit.
Yeah,
it's
not scripted.
Yeah, the only scripted parts are the intro and the outro.
Yeah.
Outside of that, yeah, I feel like we could do it.
Yeah,
that'd be fun too. Because I've seen other people do live streaming their podcasts at conventions, and a lot of people do just getting people's opinions on stuff, and then just shoot the shit for a minute until they walk off, and then they continue discussing something else, and then it's oh, hey, new person wants to talk about whatever. They kind of have something hey, want to talk about a Marvel movie, come sit down with us, and then they sit down, discuss whatever movie for however long that person wants to talk, and then they bounce. That would be fun.
Yeah, that really would be.
Yeah, but doing the outro in front of people would make me want to freaking rip my skin off.
Yeah, honestly, same here. Considering I never stick to what I'm actually supposed to do for the outro.
Yeah, I think the only way that I would feel comfortable doing the intro. I don't know if there's any circumstance I'd feel comfortable doing the outro, but the only way I'd feel comfortable doing the intro is if it was like we were hosting a panel kind of situation.
Okay, that's fair.
Where you kind of have to do an intro.
Yeah. But like even with that, like I think like I'd probably like make it up on the spot. I don't know if I'd want to go scripted on that either.
Yeah, you'd have to improv it a little bit.
Yeah.
Ideas if we ever get to that point.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back into the story here. Just the flow was really good, and I liked like how you said like you kind of changed your opinions on the freaking wild child of this movie with Glenn Powell's character.
Yeah.
Like how he started off being like, oh, this asshole, and then he ended up being like one of the good guys.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm not surprised that he did because, you know, Glenn Powell, not me knocking Glenn Powell. He's actually a really good actor. But like, you know, everyone's just like, he's the hottest guy alive right now. So I don't think they'd want people leaving the movie theater with a bad taste in their mouth for Glenn Powell.
I just think it plays off to his abilities as an actor to be able to make that shift.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it'd be like a tough sell for like some other people, but he's able to pull off charming really well, but he's also able to to push it just hard enough where it's like douchebag.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I didn't find myself getting bored with this at all. Like just despite this being a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, no, like seriously, these 2 hours honestly flew by.
Yeah, it did. I got to the halfway point before I actually checked like the time, and I was just like, oh shit. Because I thought I was only like I was more surprised by how far into the movie I was versus how much time was left.
Okay. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. So like really, really good flow. I don't think there's definitely like some shit that like only meteorologists are gonna understand.
Like, yeah, like freaking with the opening, with Kate and her friends, you know, going storm chasing and like all the stuff that they're talking about. I'm like, okay, I'm very confused, but like that tornado looks cool as hell. So like I'm still on board here. And then
that's what these disaster movies do. They just kind of mesmerize us with like something spinny and dangerous.
No, like seriously. And then freaking
like, ooh, wait, what'd she say?
like I was like, kudos to this opening because like I know this is a disaster movie. I know this, you know, like the main focus is tornadoes and how effective they are, but I was not expecting all of Kate's friends except for Javi because he was somewhere else to freaking get swooped up in the tornado and die.
Dude,
that
oh my gosh.
I was not expecting that. So like kudos to this movie for having like one hell of an opening that grabs your attention. You're just like, okay, shit. All right, yeah, I'm invested. I'm in.
Yeah, it set up the stakes really. All right,
good?
Hold on. Yep, there's a bug. Like a big one, and oh shit. Disappeared.
Oh shit.
Okay, anyway, it set up the stakes really like well, like right out of the gate, and it was awesome. Like I was surprised by like, so first off, I thought the little like blonde chick was McKenna Grace, so I was just like freaking ballsy to kill her off almost immediately, but it wasn't her, someone else. But yeah, I was surprised. Hold on, I need to take care of that bug. It is too big. That was a different bug.
Oh,
Holy shit! That scared the shit out of me.
Oh, that
Yeah. So
was a
for those of
bit.
you that are unaware of my recording situation, I am currently outside in my shop, like my decent sized shop that I do not have that well insulated. I have two fans that are doing their best to cool me down because it is freaking Georgia summer and it is hot as balls. I am relatively cool right now,
Okay,
but
that's good.
I have a garage door that isn't fully sealed, and one of those big old like tree cockroaches got in, and that's the big ass bug that I was seeing over in the corner. I went and whacked it like it owed me money. It is currently dead,
Okay, good.
like if it owed me money, and and I came over and sat down, and before we started recording again, Rose asked me if I got the bug, and before I could respond, a little moth came and flew near me and scared the living bejesus out of me. So I kind of screamed a little bit.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, I currently am not. I currently do not have shoes on, so I am feeling very vulnerable.
Oh,
I've had a freaking day because I had one of those big ass roaches. They come from the trees, but so I don't know where the hell they're coming in from. I have an idea, but I'm gonna be like, this is totally off subject. But my wife and kids are taking a trip for a couple weeks, so I'm going to be tearing up the floors in our house. So I'm going to be sealing up all of the freaking empty zones on like in our house, or attempting to at least. And so I'm not excited to rip this carpet up because it's like finding a treasure that is just you don't want. So I'm not pumped for that. But anyway, these big ass freaking roaches have been getting in our house.
oh
And
shit.
they're crafty sons of bitches. But I was sitting down playing with my son, and I felt something on my head, and I was like, what the hell? And I swatted it, and on my freaking chest, one of those damn roaches was there, and I was holding my kid, and I like I feel bad for saying this. I knew I needed to deal with this bug, so I kind of like paused for a second, and I like tossed him into some pillows that were next to me. Like I had like a bunch of pillows and blankets on the table or on the couch, so I kind of like tossed him and then grabbed a freaking boot off like from my daughter's, and then the bug like disappeared, and I was trying to like swat it, but it got away from me. And so yeah, he was freaking out. My daughter was freaking out. Like everyone was freaking out. And I was like, well, shit, like at least it's gone. At least it's gone. So I sit back in the goddamn couch, and I shit you not even 10 minutes later, over my shoulder again. I'm like, son of a bitch. So kind of the same deal. And I'm like, oh, I freaked out. I jumped and I tried to swat it forward, and it kind of worked. But I swatted a little too far forward, so I wasn't able to grab my boot because I had it like right next to me. So yeah, swatted it forward, and it got into the kitchen and went behind my fridge, and I'm just like, you bitch. And then luckily it came out while my wife was in the kitchen, so I was able to come in, kill it super fast, and all was right with the world. But these bugs are pissing me off.
How big are they?
They're decent sized. Like I'd probably say they probably like lengthwise about the length of your like glasses lens. Like one of them.
Oh fuck that.
Yeah, they're about that long and about like a finger and a half wide.
Yeah. Oh hell no.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
No. I feel bad for you. Feel bad for Brielle, and I feel bad for the kids. I am
Yeah.
sorry that you have to go through that right now.
Yeah, once we get the place like buttoned up a little bit better, because I don't know what this dude was doing to his house, but yeah, we need to get it freaking zipped up.
Wow.
So anyway, getting back to this movie and me not being freaking being a bitch.
You're calling yourself a bitch? Do you want to know how much I'd freak out if I was in your shoes right now?
Dude, did you not just hear me scream like I was a
Have
little
you
girl?
have you heard me scream like when a bug is around? I'm just saying.
Oh man, I just hate feeling like vulnerable. Like if I had my pants on, like right now I'm in like athletic shorts. Like these are technically like my PJs, not the shirt. The shirt's not like a PJ shirt, but like I have my athletic shorts, and my shoes, which I'm not wearing socks or anything, so I'm barefoot. I feel very vulnerable right now versus when I'm wearing like my normal jeans with some like steel toe boots. Like if I have that on, I feel invincible. Anything less than that, I am vulnerable and I don't care for it.
Oh shit.
Man. Anyway, getting back into this story. I really dug it. I felt like it had like a really good flow. It did get, like I said, maybe a little confusing and maybe a little slow-ish on the in the middle. But other than that, like it was pretty rock solid.
Agreed.
I think I'm going to give this like an 84.
I'm like right there with you, but I'm just a little higher at an 86.
Okay. Yeah, moving on over to writing. This is where it might take a little bit of a dive. It was very science heavy, which
It was and maybe it's just me, but with this movie being called Twisters, and that's not not me saying like, oh, like why wasn't there two tornadoes all the time? Um but it felt weird, at least from what I'm remembering, that there was only just that one scene with two tornadoes, right? Isn't like the final tornado just like one big ass tornado?
yeah. But I don't think
Yeah.
that's the point. I think that was just to distinguish it between the first movie and the second.
No, I know, but just like
You can't give it a hard time for its title.
No, I'm not giving it a hard time for its title.
Yes, you are. You're saying
No.
it was called Twisters, but there was only ever one at a time, except for that one time where there was two.
Look, I'm just saying that, yeah.
What I'm saying is your argument's invalid.
This is not me. Okay. First of all, kiss my ass. Second, I'm not docking it for any of this. I'm just stating my point. That it's called Twisters. In the poster, or at least in the first poster, the three main people are looking at the tornado right in front of them, but in the freaking truck's rearview mirror, you can see it one behind them as well. So I feel that I was advertised Twisters, ergo two Twisters, but I only got one scene with them.
Argument. That is such a bullshit argument. If you want to get real technical about it, the only time that there was ever only one twister was the opening twister and the closing twister.
Okay, yeah.
Every other time they were arguing or kind of debating, hey, which one should we follow?
All right, God damn it, you got a point there.
Yeah, you want to freaking like make a flimsy argument? Like, I'll give you a freaking rock solid response.
Like I said,
Show you what the Rock is cooking.
Like I said, I'm not docking it for anything, but just
Sounds like you were about to.
Shut up.
Oh shit.
But before I get criticized anymore by this guy,
it's not a criticism.
I know.
If you're gonna dock it for something, dock it for something that's valid.
Okay, I will, motherfucker. I'm just kidding. Oh shit. But no, I agree with you. The writing is definitely it's a step down from the story. Not saying that's a bad thing. But like you pointed out, there is a lot of sciencey talk that I got quite confused with. But then you get some really good dialogue with like all the tornado wranglers, like freaking when they're just having their like meetings, like especially when they're at that hotel that night, and it's like one of their, I think it's their like second interaction with Kate, and how she finds out that like they're not just like out there for views, like they actually like care. They actually like find this stuff interesting, like they're actually pursuing meteorology. They're not just doing this for shits and giggles. They actually find this stuff interesting, and especially with Tyler's character, who actually went to school for, because don't they say that he went to school for meteorology?
Yeah. He I think he was the only one out of the group that
Yeah.
did.
So like the rest are like kind of like self-taught when it comes to that kind of stuff. But so I freaking love that. Like you like find out like, okay, maybe these people actually like for the most part know what they're talking about when it comes to this stuff. And then also you find out later on that, like they're not just like clout seeking assholes, because whatever merchandise they sell, they actually give back to the people that have been affected by these tornadoes. So like, I loved the writing when it comes to that kind of stuff, and especially the writing for Kate. I I loved the scene where it's her and Tyler back at her home, her childhood home, and we get to see her diorama from high school, and just what her plans were, and everything that she wanted to be, what she wanted to do with meteorology, and like push the bounds, push the boundaries with it. But because of what happened at the beginning, that incident that just like derailed her whole plan, and derailed her whole future of what she wanted to, how she wanted to make a difference in the world. And so like the character writing, I feel, is super super solid, at least for Tyler and Kate in this movie, especially Kate.
Yeah. And with them being like the main focus of this movie, like other than maybe like Javi, but
Yeah.
with them being the main focus, like it made sense that their dialogue and everything was better.
Yeah. And like freaking like even Javi, like especially that scene when she blames him. I think she blames him for the incident, but he's just or no, she's just like, why weren't you there? Like you don't understand like what exactly happened. And he's just like, oh yeah, I don't understand what happened. We were literally there just so you could get just so this experiment could go off without a hitch and you can get your grant money. But because of what you planned, because of what you tried to execute, I lost three of my best friends. And just freaking like him throwing that at her, and her reaction is completely warranted, but also his reaction, freaking the writing in that scene is great as well.
Yeah. I like their argument was really good, because it was like both of their arguments were very sound. Like it made sense why they were fighting.
Yeah.
Like with her, she's pointing out like kind of the shitty dealings of the investor, which I don't understand how the hell he's planning. Like, this investor is just some dude who goes and like after tornadoes and shit, and it's just like, oh, guess I'm going to buy up your property and give you like a bunch of cash and whatnot to deal with that, which is agreeable. It's a shady dealing.
Yeah.
The thing that pisses me off, though, it's like, as an investor, why would I want to invest in land that I know is in danger of being swept up by a tornado?
Yeah, that's true. Because yeah, even if you rebuild, it's likely to happen again.
Yeah. And I'm like, unless he's doing it for like shady insurance dealings, like, oh, we're going to get like super good insurance on this place and just pray that it freaking comes and rips down or gets ripped down. And then it's like, oh, now we have even more money to like throw back into it. And like, it feels like insurance fraudy.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But I also, it's like business got a business too. So it's like, meh.
Yeah.
So maybe there's just something that I wasn't grasping there.
No, dude, I completely get where you're coming from, and I agree.
But yeah, their argument was good because it's just like she was trying to call out like the investor and his shady dealings, and then she's like, "You don't know what it's like to have like a tornado come through and just take everything that you love and care about away from you." And he's like, "Oh, don't I?" And then and then through all of the shady, not really shady, just through that situation back in her face, which man. And I'll address this in writing too. This is not anything I'm docking it for. It's something I found quite humorous. I thought that it was funny that our new Superman was making the argument like, I don't give a shit about the people.
Yeah, seriously. Dude, it was so weird watching his performance for how serious he was. Wanted to do everything by the book, just listen to everything that his boss wanted him to do. And just thinking about like what character he's gonna be playing next year.
I know, dude. It actually kind of made me worried. I'm just like, oh no, he's really good at playing an asshole.
Yes.
Like, oh no. Like I need to go back and watch something of his that shows off his like good guy personality a bit better, because everything I've seen him in, he's been like a little douchey. And I'm like, ugh, like this doesn't bode well for our new Superman. So yeah, I found that to be quite funny, because when he like legitimately was just like, I don't care about those people. I'm like, oh, and the way that he got ditched was freaking hilarious too.
Oh yeah, well deserved.
Yeah, he's just like, so stop the car, let's get out and do some business. And he's like, all right, cool, dude. I'm like, you should have seen that coming once he didn't get out of the car.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
When he gets freaking splashed with mud, he's like, God damn it, Javi.
Oh man,
that's what you get, Smallville. But yeah, like I said, not docking for his characterization at all. I like I said, I found it to be quite funny.
Yeah, no, it was.
I'm trying to think of any other dial. I loved the mom.
Same here. Yeah, the mom was great.
She was fantastic, so witty and just charismatic. Like, I loved it. Like, dude, like, and it was like right out of the gate too, when she was just when she basically like broke into her house. Like, that is that was shady as all hell. I'm like, that's a good, like, you're just kind of breaking into a ranch house. That's a good way to get shot.
Yeah, like seriously, like you do remember this is Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. You think they give a flying shit about gun laws? I'll tell you, sir, they do not. Or I guess in this case, ma'am.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there were some bits that were pretty witty. This overall, I'd say it was a little bland, a little tough to follow too at times because it was like meteorology shit that I just over my head.
Same here.
I
I tried to understand as much as I could.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, cold front, choke it out.
Yeah.
What the does that mean? But yeah, I don't know if I was as impressed with the writing on this though. Where are you at?
I think for the writing, because yeah, like I think as much as they try to make you understand meteorology, it's still it still can be very confusing. Like a lot of the words that they said, I'm just like, I'm lost. Like, I can understand oh, hey, this one's moving north, this one's moving south. I can understand that.
Yeah,
It's
we
just
get the basics.
yeah.
Like of what, like, dude, you have no idea how much I appreciated the opening when it was just like, yeah, we're gonna be releasing this blah 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 blah, blah this mixture blah blah blah, and then like what's her face came in and she's like, just tell him it's diaper stuff. I'm like, okay, I know diaper stuff.
No, yeah, seriously.
Like, my dumb human brain can comprehend diaper stuff.
But yeah, like you said, they definitely do their best to make you understand meteorology. But unfortunately, I was still lost in some parts. But I feel what balances it out is you get some good one-liners from certain characters. You get some good interactions, whether it be good or bad, between certain characters, and so I feel the writing, while not as strong as the story, is still pretty good. So I think I'm at an 81.
I was just a hair lower at an 80.
Bam.
All right, moving on over to acting. Starting off with wrong one. Starting off with our main protagonist. I forgot the term for a second. We have Daisy Edgar Jones, who played Kate. We got Glenn Powell, who played Tyler. Anthony Ramos, who played Javi. Brandon Perea, who played Boone. Dude. Oh, wait. No, I thought he was someone else. Never mind. I thought he was the dude who played Sokka in the new Avatar.
Oh,
He kind of has that like same look. Like
yeah,
same
he
like
does.
sharp face.
Yeah.
We got Harry Haddon Patton, who plays Ben, the London journalist. We got Sasha Lane, who plays Lily. Then our Superman, David Cornsweet, who played Scott. Dude, I need to freaking get his name right because I kept calling him Cornsweet today.
How do you say it?
Corin Sweat.
Oh, Corin Sweat. Okay.
Yeah, and I kept calling him Corn Sweat.
I just feel glad that he has sweat in his name.
Yeah. Then we got Tundi Adabimpe.
I think so.
Who played Dexter. Katie O'Brien, who played Danny. Maura Tierney, who played Kathy, and this was Kate's mom, right?
Yeah.
So that is everyone.
Yeah.
All right. I assume the same two people are going to be in our top twos.
Yeah, Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell.
Yeah. What's your ranking of them though?
Just because I really actually loved her story. I put Daisy number 1 and then Glenn Powell number 2.
Same here.
Number 3, like probably what's the word? Typical. Well, no, not typical, but like I'm not picking like a side character here. I'm gonna say Anthony Ramos, who played Javi. I really liked his storyline. I feel that he was a really good friend to Kate. And I'm glad that he, as much as it would have been cool for him and Kate to end up together, because you could definitely tell that he did like her. I'm glad that it didn't happen, because I feel the direction that his story goes and like his redemptive arc, I feel is really good. When it comes to the climax of this movie, and I feel that would have affected um how how his story comes to a resolution. But yeah, no, he was great. Anthony Ramos is always great in everything that he does. Um, for how much I did not love Transformers: Rise of the Beast, he was not a problem with that movie. He was actually very good in that.
Yeah, he was one of the better parts.
Yeah. But like if I had to say like honorable mention fourth, it would go to what's his name? Brandon Perea, who played Boone. I just loved his energy so much. He was fantastic. And like, I know they showed it in the trailer, but freaking the scene where he's just like, "We got twins," like you get like freaking hyped. Like,
yeah, like that's one thing that they did really well. They did a really solid job at like hyping you up.
Yes,
like when they were getting hyped up, and the scene where they were like they followed the like one of the twins, and it like ended up dying out, and they were like, what, like freaking cheering, hooting, hollering, and then it freaking dies out, and they're like, shit. Like, I loved like that energy.
that was great.
Yeah, and I love what's her face, the chick who played Danny came out and was just like, we should have followed her. I'm like, yeah, you think? Oh, that was funny. That shit was so good. Yeah, my honorable mention number 4, even though she had such a small role, I'm giving it to Mara Tierney, who played Kathy, Kate's mom. I found her so enjoyable, and I loved her reaction when Tyler gave her a shirt, and she just like opened it, saw his face, and then just kind of like, thanks. And then like turn it around to show Kate, and they were like basically like making fun of him. Like, I freaking love that energy.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh man. Yeah, so where are you sitting with your acting score?
I feel everyone did a really good job. I don't like nothing like Oscar worthy. Like, the performances were great, but I unfortunately don't see any of these people getting nominated for Oscars. I'm sorry to say.
Nope.
But needless to say, great job across the board for acting. So I think I'll be at an 84.
I'm just a little bit higher. I'm at an 85.
All right, hell yeah.
All right, moving on over to character development. Obviously, we got to do this on Kate.
Yeah.
Her character, like, this is probably a weaker point in the movie for me. I feel like Kate's character moved on a little too suddenly, at least from where she initially was.
You know what? That's fair.
Like, what got me is that she kind of had her panic attack, which I don't feel Javi was I don't feel like he was very understanding about that at all. Like, it felt like he was pissed off.
Yeah,
just like trying not to show it.
Yeah, no, like seriously, it's like, dude, you do remember what happened 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, like come on. But no, freaking Kate, like, it seemed like that was something she got over real quick, like a panic attack like that, because like she had the initial one, and then she's like, okay, well, we'll get it next time, and then the next time she was totally fine.
Yeah, like she jumped like right into the action.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird.
And then it was kind of like the same deal. Like, I feel like she should have had a little bit more like panic attacks, at least enough, like more where it would have made like a little bit more sense, or at least just like give it a slow burn enough where like, because I think she could have handled like the second one, because obviously that wasn't like a super crazy tornado. It was just like a quick boom, boom, boom. Like, we got it. We found the thing. The one that I feel should have messed her up even more was the big one that tore up the rodeo.
Yeah, like seriously. Hell, I'm shocked that she was even able to bounce back from that.
Yeah, like it would have made sense. Like, if that one like freaking like racked her, like it would have made her decision to go and like basically go straight into the heart of the storm with the whatever, the EF5 or the like that super big ass tornado at the end. Like, it would have made her decision to do that like even a little bit more powerful.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if we had seen her struggling with tornadoes throughout.
No, I agree. I feel one point that I will say is beneficial for character development is the scene when she's back at her hometown, or her her childhood home. She's in the barn looking at her display that she had made in high school about tornado watch. What, like I said earlier, what she wanted to do with that, and like what she could do to be able to stop a tornado from causing as much damage as they usually do. And so that scene that she gets with Glenn Powell's character Tyler, and her like literally telling him, like, hey, this is why I stopped. This is why nothing else happened with me, because of what happened with my friends. And the research that I did, it proved that it wasn't satisfactory. Like, it wasn't going to help. And so I I didn't feel the incentive, I guess, to go back and try to do something or correct it and like actually make it effective and go off without a hitch. Um, and so I don't know. I really enjoy that scene for like her explaining what she had intended, what happened, and why she is the way that she is now. Like, we got a sense of why she was, like, makes complete sense, what she went through at the beginning, and her, like you pointed out, with the panic attack when she first sees the tornado being back in Oklahoma with Javi. But I feel that scene in the barn just adds to all of the trauma that she has experienced.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. It's like, it tracks, like all of the like her feelings towards her work, like all of that makes perfect sense. It's just, I feel where they did really good at explaining the trauma and like where it originated from and like the guilt. I don't feel like they focused more on her recovery out of that.
That's a good point.
So I think that might be where the character development takes a bit of a dive. But I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's too much. This is one I'm not cracking the 80s on. This is one I'm probably sitting at like a 77.
That's completely fair. I'm the same way with you. I'm not cracking 80s either. So I think I'm just gonna be just 1 point above you though. At a 78.
All right, next up we got effects.
These are
wish I
pretty
would have
damn
seen
cool.
this. Yeah, I wish I would have seen this on a bigger screen.
Dude, I wish I would have been able to see this in 40x or XD or freaking IMAX, because I just saw it on like a plain Cinemark movie screen, and I regret not seeing this shit on the biggest screen possible. I'm sure that would have been cool as hell.
I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine. The everything looked fantastic.
Like, at no point during this movie did I think, okay, yeah, no, that tornado is not real. Like that is so CGI.
The only thing that I felt was like CGI was the debris. Like some of the debris. A lot of it looked really good, but there was some debris that I was like, okay, that's
Like
obviously not working. It,
towards like with the ending.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the bigger stuff. So like
Okay.
the trolley thing where that was kind of coming, that I was
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
okay, that looks a little too CGI.
Yeah. Fair
And
enough.
then it was mostly the big stuff. The little stuff like the stop signs or tiny little pieces of debris, like whatever, like who
Yeah.
cares. It was a lot of the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
So like the water tower, that was a little like
Fair enough. I will
yeah.
say though, like every scene, I would put this into effects because I feel like they did a really good job implicating it and how it worked. Every single scene where they would Glenn Powell's truck would drill itself into the ground so it would stay put. Like that was some cool shit.
That felt like such an unnecessary thing to do at the airport.
Yeah, but like
Dude,
for
I'm
his
like, what?
character, it worked. It made sense. It worked.
I'm like, what a
He's a cocky
douche.
son of a bitch.
I know. I was just like, that was one thing I rolled my eyes at super hard. I'm just like, you douchebag. But also super good idea for a freaking storm chaser.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, it almost made me think, like, why didn't what is it, Storm Par or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, why didn't they freaking adopt that? Like the anchoring system, so they could just be have the sensors on the back of their trucks.
Yeah. Like seriously.
Like that way you could freaking like anchor that shit down um to your vehicles, have freaking like industrial strength like drills that are like yoinking you down. Like
Like you could really truly be in the eye of the storm in that
yeah,
regard.
I'm like, that's something that I would want to freaking incorporate, and like that is something I'd
100%.
never seen in one of these like disaster films before, and I was like, love it.
Yeah, no, like same here, and that's some smart stuff. Like whoever thought about that, freaking genius.
Yeah, dude, just like whoever thought it was like I love that it was like a YouTube challenge that he was trying to do. Like, you guys asked if we could fire fireworks in the middle of a tornado, and the answer is yes, we can. I'm like, the tornado or the fireworks in the tornado were sick.
Yeah, that was cool as hell.
I'm like, dude, this was dope. This was really freaking dope. Oh man. Yeah, I love that. I loved how pimped out the trucks were. Like all the trucks.
Yeah, same here.
So I'm pretty high on this one. This one might be my highest category. Which in a disaster movie, you want it to be.
This is true.
Like if there's anything you want to be like super high up, it's the effects.
Yeah.
This one though, I'm probably cracking a 90. Like I think the tornado effects outshine a lot of like the issues I had with the debris. But I'm even thinking like the effects of like the people getting dragged away by the tornado was terrifying.
Yeah. Yes,
Like,
sorry.
I wanted to know, has anyone ever survived being sucked up by a tornado?
I mean, I'm
Like, because like I also want to know what like just physically like what happens to the debris. Does it just like die out and then everything just like stops spinning and then drops? Or is it like, oh, sudden stop and then you just get flung to like like across the freaking like country?
that is an excellent question.
Yeah, and if anyone has survived, how did they do it? If there's
Yeah.
like a method, like, oh yeah, if you do this, this, or this, you could survive being sucked up by a tornado, or if it's just like you better be close with God.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, it was freaking scary, dude. Like when the first dude, Praveen or whatever his name was, um, got sucked up, I was like, run, like run, you bastards, run. And then freaking Addie, when she kept slipping, I'm just like no. And then she gets sucked away, and that was freaking scary. But I think her boyfriend's death is the one that scared me the most.
Fair. Yeah, that was
Like,
insane.
yeah, like it was so sudden. He's just around her, and then he like
Yeah.
getting sucked out of a straw, dude.
Yeah.
And that was horrifying.
Because I forget what hits him, but like, yeah, it makes him lose his grip, and then bam, he gets sucked in.
Was it a road sign or something,
think
or
I
was it just
think
like a random piece of debris?
I I swear it was like a beam or something. I think you're right. I think it was like a road sign.
Yeah, it was something, but
Yeah.
that messed me up. Something awful.
Yeah.
I was like, "Ooh, this is a strong start." But yeah, I'm sitting at a 90 for this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna match you on that 100%.
All right, moving on over to music.
This soundtrack kicked ass.
Yeah, it did. This soundtrack was freaking banging.
Dude, freaking when the Tornado Wranglers first showed up and they're blasting Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is badass.
I'm not even a big fan of like the new modern country like that,
Yeah.
but it freaking hit with this movie.
It did. Uh
Like how hard does it hit though? I cannot give this a perfect 10.
no, I can't either. But I'm like in between. I can't decide between an 8 or a 9.
I am leaning more towards an 8. But that one, the Ain't No Love in Oklahoma one, kind of like on its own, oh damn, I think I might have talked myself up to a 9.
Yeah, same. Like all the other songs are great, but just that song and that scene just freaking like it gets you hyped, honestly.
I'll say this. I'm a little upset that they didn't incorporate any Wizard of Oz the songs.
You know what? I am too.
Like that is freaking messed up.
I agree.
Also, total
You're owned by
side
the same
note.
studio.
Total side note. I don't care for I love the nicknames for all the trucks. Like you had the Tin Man, the Lion, and Scarecrow. Love that. Love that.
Yeah, that was cool.
I did not care for the van being called Wizard. I'm like, you should have been called Toto.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like I don't know, like this Toto is better, but or at least like Oz, like something unique. Just the Wizard is dumb.
Yeah, unless that was like the short nickname, but on the van it only said Wizard.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, like it needed to say Wizard of Oz, and then like the shorthand for it is just call it Wizard.
Let's call it Woz.
Woz.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, nah, Toto would have worked a little bit better.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or I would have found more humor in that, I guess. But yeah. All right, moving on over to costumes. This, I'm probably going to be at like a 6.
Yeah, like it's nothing special. Like it's everyday wear.
Yeah, the only like outfit I'd say is like whatever Glenn Powell was wearing. Like he had the most like costume stuff, like because he was the like only thing that like really stands out is when he was wearing the white t-shirt out in the rain with his cowboy hat, and I'm just like, freaking.
You know, That, and also I was just like, every single time he was in like a button down shirt, I'm just like, okay, like are they just gonna add one more button like unopened now, so like you can see even more of his chest?
I know, dude. I was straight up expecting. I'm like, all right, when's the tornado going to rip his shirt off?
No, like
Or some
seriously.
bullshit like that. Like, or I was almost expecting him to like use his shirt to like help tie Kate down when like to protect during that tornado or something. I was
Uh,
expecting some bullshit like that. I'm so glad that they didn't do
I
that
am,
though.
yeah, I am as well. Like, thank you to the director for not focusing on the fact that everyone thinks that not Luke. Wow. Um, I just forgot his name.
Glenn Powell.
Thank you. Um, that Glenn Powell is just eye candy, because he is not. He's a really good actor. Don't get me wrong, he's a very attractive man. Um, but can we just focus on that he is actually a good actor and respect him and not just have him shirtless in every single scene?
Dude, if you watch Hitman,
I haven't.
that gives him such good range.
Okay, that's on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That gives him a ridiculous amount of range, dude. Because he has to like he's putting on these outfits, and so he's playing up different like stereotypical hitman rules. It is so funny. It is
Okay, that's
so
cool.
freaking funny.
Okay, all right. I'm
Like
definitely gonna check that
highly
out.
recommend. Like that's a recommendation I'm going to do eventually because
Okay, hell
that
yeah.
is so fun. um. But yeah, costume wise, like nothing to freaking write home about. This is 6.
Yeah.
Like, and I'd say most of that 6 can be contributed to the Storm Par team and their like
Yeah, yeah,
uniforms.
yeah.
I thought their uniforms were sick.
Reminded me a lot of like freaking like a car mechanic's outfit.
A little bit.
Like
Like
if you
kind
go
of
to
like
like
they could
freaking
have
like
been
AutoZone
or
or
Jiffy Lube.
yeah.
All right, last up we got our own personal scores.
All right, who's going first?
Who do you want to hear from first?
Let's hear from you first.
All right. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie more than I thought I did. And I am not a fan of disaster movies. Like I've talked about it before. I feel they're usually pretty lazily done, and it's just to like I don't like disaster porn. It's just it's too much destruction, and it's just like it's borderline unnecessary, and it's just like you have a really shitty story covered up by like horrible things happening. And it's like it's basic because most of the time it's usually, oh, we need to get to this zone, or we need to get here, oh, we need to get there. Like, no, like give us something of substance, which this gave us that thing of substance where it's like, okay, you're not just chasing tornadoes for what you're calling science. You're chasing tornadoes to like gather data that you're going to use to basically tame tornadoes, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Like it's such a good concept. Um, but yeah, that I think that's what got me going with this movie is the concept that they pulled off was really well done, better than any other disaster movie I've seen. So, and it was also fun too. Like I felt like the characters were really fun and like a relatable is a strong word when you're talking like meteorology nerds, but I thought they were fun. Um like quite enjoyable. Really, really enjoyable. So I think I'm sitting maybe like an 86, which for me like is as high of as a disaster movie as I've ever gone before.
Yeah, like literally everything that Caleb said, nailed it on the head. Um like I pointed out earlier, at least I think I did. I've never seen the original Twister. And I remember reading somewhere before I saw this that you'll actually enjoy this more if you hadn't. And I think I did, honestly, not having to take the standards or expectations that I have from that first movie and the story that they went with that one. This being my first introduction to, like, honestly, a movie about tornadoes. I don't watch a lot of disaster movies like Caleb. I think the last disaster movie I watched, I'm not going to say disaster movie.
I was like, I know damn well what your last disaster movie was.
But shit, I think it was 2012.
Like when it first came out,
I think
2012?
so. Like,
Damn, son,
I
that is
can't
a
think of any
throwback.
other. Yeah, dude, right? I can't think of any other disaster movies off the top of my head because I
I
never
can't
saw
think.
San Andreas. And that's the only other one that I can think of right now.
Yeah.
So
Do you count like Godzilla as
I don't. Like, disaster movies to me are like actual, like, natural disasters. So
okay,
tornadoes, earthquakes, shit like that.
hurricanes and
Yeah,
yeah, okay,
hurricanes. Yeah.
I got you. I
Um.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't. I. It depends on how destructive the creature is being. So, like, if it's just basically Godzilla just destroying a town and nothing else, like, then yeah, I'll consider that a disaster movie.
Yeah.
But if there's like if they attempt a story, I'll just put that in like monster movie.
Yeah. So there we go. But yeah, solid story, really good characters, great special effects. Yeah, this movie was a really, really fun time, and I'm really glad that I saw it, and can't wait to buy the 4K when it comes out. So yeah, I am actually the exact same as Caleb at an 86 for my personal score.
I would not have been able to guess that. I thought you would have been a little bit higher than me.
No, I mean, I was going to, but then I'm just thinking, you know what? I don't know if I could go that high. Like, this is not me knocking the movie. Just for how much I don't love disaster movies, even though as much as I enjoyed this one, they're just not my forte. I couldn't really push myself up more with my personal score. So
Fair enough. All right, going through these scores real quick. Starting off with story, we ended up averaging out at an 85. The writing is sitting at an 80.5. The acting is sitting at an 84.5. Character development is our lowest category, sitting at a 77.5. The effects are the high point of this movie, sitting at a 90. The music is sitting at a 9 out of 10. Costumes is sitting at a 6 out of 10. And then our personal score ended up averaging out to an 86. So with that, the final All Bros letter grade for Twisters has come out to a B.
okay, I like it.
I like it too. I think a B is more than fair.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's see where this ended up ranking. All right, this is it's a middle of the road B, kind of on the lower end
Okay.
of our Bs. So our cutoff for a B is an 83%. This ended up scoring an 83.56%.
Still not bad.
Yeah, so a B, like I said, a B is between an 83% and an 86%.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this is definitely on the lower end of this. But yeah, going what this is below first. This is sitting below No Hard Feelings.
I'm trying to remember, what movie was that?
That's the Jennifer Lawrence comedy.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. It is below Home Alone.
All right, fair.
It is below Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, fair.
It is also below Thor Ragnarok,
Fair.
and it is below Free Guy.
Yeah, fair.
All right, and now it is above James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Oh, damn. Wow.
Barely 0.06%, dude.
Damn.
It's toit.
Wow.
It is above Toy Story 4.
You know what? I think I can agree with that.
It is above Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
It is above The Marvels,
Yeah, I agree with that.
and it is above Argyle.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Damn. No disagrees. Wow.
Yeah. The only one that I would like even kind of make an argument for would be Suicide Squad.
Okay, yeah.
That's
I'll
the
agree with you there.
only one, but with it being that close, like it's probably something like the difference between writing and acting. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what I bet it is? I bet you it's freaking character development.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
Okay.
But yeah. So that's where it's sitting. I think it has a pretty decent home.
I agree. No, I think B is a perfect score for Twisters.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, unless you got anything else you want to say about
Nope.
Twisters. All right. Well, if you guys like what you heard and you want to hear more, be sure to follow and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are damn near anywhere, or everywhere, not anywhere.
Anywhere.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that fun shit. If you want to check out our social media, you can find us at Facebook, X, Twitter, Instagram. Do we still have Twitter?
Yeah, we don't use it.
Okay. So we do
But we
have Twitter. We just don't use it.
Yeah.
Fair. Oh, yeah. So Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of those are at the Allbros. If you want to get in contact with us, you can email us at theallbroschannel@gmail.com. If you want to check our website, you can do so at tinyurl.com/user/the Allbros channel. And you can check out our merch store, tpublic.com/user/the Allbros channel. Next week on the podcast, we will be breaking down a movie that I know Caleb is actually really excited for, even though the reviews are not that great.
Dude, the reviews freaking ruined my excitement for this movie.
That sucks. I hate it when that happens. But we'll be breaking down the remake of The Crow. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see how this plays out.
Dude, I am going to be so pissed off if I don't like this movie.
You know what? Fair enough.
I hope it's one that people are just like, okay, it's a little heavy and that's why we don't like it. Like, I hope it's one of those cases.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, we'll find out next week.
Yeah. Yes, we will. But until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I am Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we will catch you guys next week. Peace around the world for generations.
What the deuce?
That's my new sign off. Sign off.
You might want to rewrite that.
Damn it. I stole it from Fred.
Oh, man.